Welcome to the Appliance Repair Academy. In this lesson, you will learn how to replace the idler pulley assembly on a Samsung DVE45R6100C electric dryer. The replacement part number is DC9707509B. This is one of the most common dryer repairs you will encounter in the field. The three most common symptoms that point to a failed idler pulley are a loud squealing or squeaking noise during operation, the drive belt slipping or jumping off the pulley, and the drum stopping mid-cycle while the motor continues to run. If your customer reports any of these symptoms, the idler pulley assembly is the #1 suspect. Let's get started.
Before you touch this dryer, stop. Safety comes first on every single job. Step 1. Unplug the power cord from the wall outlet. Do not just turn the dryer off. Physically pull the plug. Step 2. Hang a lockout tag on the plug so no one restores power while you are working. This is OSHA Lockout Tagout Procedure 29 CFR 1910.147. You will need the following tools: a Phillips #2 screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, a 1/4-inch nut driver, needle nose pliers, and a magnetic parts tray. Keep your work area clear, wear safety glasses, and never work on a dryer with the power cord plugged in. Only qualified personnel should perform live voltage tests.
Lockout tagout, and this is non-negotiable. Before you touch a single screw on this dryer, you must establish a zero energy state. First, unplug the power cord from the wall outlet. Do not just press power off. Physically pull that plug from the receptacle and keep the cord under your direct control. Next, clip a red lockout tagout tag to the plug end. That tag communicates to everyone in the building this machine is intentionally de-energized. Do not plug it back in. This is OSHA procedure 29 CFR 1910.147, and it applies to every repair, every time. If this is a gas dryer, you also need to shut off the gas supply valve at the wall before you open the cabinet. Finally, release any stored mechanical energy. Open the door, let any drum tension settle, and verify the unit is in a complete zero energy state before your hands go inside. Only qualified personnel should perform live voltage tests. Safety first. Let us begin. Let's review the symptoms and how to confirm the idler pulley is the cause of the failure. The idler pulley keeps constant tension on the drive belt as it wraps around the drum and motor shaft. When the pulley bearing wears out, you will hear a high-pitched squealing or squeaking noise that gets louder as the drum spins faster. When the pulley wheel itself cracks or seizes, the belt will slip, skip, or fall off the drum entirely. When the idler arm loses spring tension, the drum may stop rotating while the motor hums. Note, every make and model varies. Always consult the specific tech sheet for your unit before proceeding. Once you have removed a pulley, we will perform a bench inspection and spin test to confirm the failure before installing the replacement part DC9707509B. Step 1. Remove the rear top screws. Move the dryer far enough away from the wall to access the back panel. You may need to disconnect the exhaust vent duct as well. Standing behind the dryer, look at the top rear edge of the machine. You will see two Phillips #2 screws, one on the left and one on the right, securing the top panel to the rear frame. Use your Phillips #2 screwdriver and turn counterclockwise to remove both screws. Place them in your magnetic parts tray so they do not get lost. Step 2. Release the front spring clips and lift the top panel off. With the two rear screws removed, grab your putty knife and insert it into the seam at the front left corner of the top panel, about 2 inches from the front edge. Press inward and the spring clip will pop. Repeat on the front right corner. You will hear and feel each clip release. Now stand at the front of the dryer, place both hands flat on the top panel surface, and lift the front edge straight up and toward you. The panel will pivot on the rear hinge points and come free. Set it safely aside on a padded surface. The top of the dryer cabinet is now fully open, and you can see the control panel and drum assembly below.
Step 3. Remove the control panel screws. With the top panel off, look down at the rear of the control console. You will see 2 screws securing the back of the control panel to the dryer frame, one on the left side and one on the right side. Use your Phillips No. 2 screwdriver to remove both screws and place them in your magnetic tray. Do not pull the control panel forward yet. The wire harness is still connected.
Step 4. Disconnect the control panel wire harness. Carefully tilt the control panel forward to access the wire harness connector on the back side. Press the locking tab on the connector and pull the connector body straight out. Never pull on the individual wires. Take a reference photo of the harness routing before you disconnect it, so you can route it correctly on reassembly. Set the control panel aside in a safe location. Step 5. Remove the front panel top screws. Move to the front of the dryer. With the top panel removed, you can now see 2 screws at the top of the front panel, one on each side near the top corners. Use your Phillips No. 2 screwdriver to remove both screws. Place them in your magnetic tray and keep them separate from the rear screws, since they may be a different length. Step 6. Remove the inner door bracket screw. Open the dryer door and look inside at the bottom of the door opening. You will see a plastic bracket held in place by a single Phillips screw. Remove that screw and carefully catch the bracket. It may be loose and fall once the screw is out. Place the screw and bracket together in your magnetic tray. Close the dryer door. Step 7. Release the front panel clips. The front panel is held by 2 spring-locking tabs, one on each side near the bottom. Insert a flathead screwdriver into the gap between the front panel and the side panel and press inward to depress each tab. While holding the tab depressed, pull the bottom of the front panel toward you. Do this on both sides. The bottom of the front panel will pivot forward and the panel will release from the top. Pull the front panel toward you, but do not let it drop. The door switch wire harness is still connected.
Step 8. Disconnect the door switch wire harness. With the front panel pulled forward, locate the door switch wire harness connector on the back side of the panel. Press the locking tab and pull the connector body straight out. Take a reference photo of the wire routing before you remove the panel completely. Set the front panel aside safely in your work area. The dryer cabinet is now open, and you can see the drum and internal components. Step 9. Remove the front bulkhead screws. The front bulkhead is the large plastic panel that sits against the front of the drum and creates the drum opening seal. It is secured by several screws around its perimeter, typically 4 to 6 Phillips screws depending on the unit. Use your 1/4-inch nut driver or Phillips screwdriver to remove all of them. Place the screws in your magnetic tray. Also locate and remove the blower housing mounting screw at the lower section of the bulkhead. Step 10. Disconnect the moisture sensor wire. Before pulling the bulkhead off, locate the moisture sensor wire harness connector on the lower section of the bulkhead. This is a small 2-wire connector. Press the tab and pull the connector straight out. Route the wire carefully so it does not get caught when you remove the bulkhead. Take a reference photo of its position. Step 11. Pull the front bulkhead off. With all screws removed and the moisture sensor disconnected, grip the bulkhead on both sides and pull it straight toward you. The bulkhead lip will slide off the front edge of the drum. Set the bulkhead down carefully. It is a large plastic piece and can crack if dropped. You now have full access to the drum, drive belt, and idler pulley assembly inside the dryer cabinet.
Step 12. Release the idler pulley and remove the belt. Look down into the cabinet bottom. You will see the idler pulley assembly, a spring-loaded arm with a small pulley wheel, sitting below the drum near the motor shaft. Reach in and push the idler arm toward the motor to release tension on the drive belt. While holding the arm compressed, slip the belt off the idler pulley wheel and then off the motor shaft. Now you can freely slide the belt off the drum. Note the belt routing before removing it completely. The belt wraps around the drum and threads in a zigzag pattern around the idler and motor shaft. Take a reference photo. Step 13. Remove the drum. With the belt free, you can now lift the drum out of the cabinet. Reach into the open front of the cabinet and grip the drum on both sides. Lift the drum up and forward, guiding the rear lip off the two drum support rollers at the back of the cabinet. The drum is large and awkward. Have a helper support one side if possible. Set the drum on a clean surface. A moving blanket or cardboard works well to protect the finish.
Step 14. Remove the old idler pulley. With the drum out of the way, you now have clear access to the idler pulley assembly. The pulley wheel is secured to the idler arm with a C-clip or E-clip retaining ring. Use your needle nose pliers to carefully grip the clip and pull it straight off the shaft. Keep a firm grip on the clip. It is small and will fly off if you let it go. Once the clip is removed, slide the pulley wheel straight off the idler arm shaft. Inspect the old part before setting it aside. You will bench test it in the next scene.
Step 15. Inspect the failed idler pulley. Now that the pulley is off the machine, perform a bench inspection. Here are the 3 conditions you may find. First, a normal pulley. The wheel spins freely with no grinding or wobble, the rubber surface is smooth and uniform, and the bearing feels smooth when you spin it by hand. Second, a seized or cracked wheel. The pulley wheel will not spin, or it wobbles badly side to side, or you can see a visible crack in the plastic or rubber. Third, a worn bearing. The pulley spins, but you hear or feel a grinding roughness. The bearing rollers inside are worn flat. Any of these conditions confirms the idler pulley assembly DC9707509B needs replacement.
Step 16. Install the new idler pulley. Take your new idler pulley assembly DC97-07509B. Slide the new pulley wheel onto the idler arm shaft. It should slide on smoothly with no resistance. Align the groove on the pulley with the C-clip groove on the shaft. Using your needle nose pliers, press the new C-clip or E-clip into the groove on the shaft to lock the pulley in place. Give the pulley a firm spin by hand. It should rotate freely and smoothly with no grinding. Confirm the spring arm also has good tension and snaps back into position. The new assembly is ready.
Step 17. Reinstall the drum and rethread the belt. Lift the drum back into the cabinet, guiding the rear lip onto the 2 support rollers at the rear wall. The drum should sit level and rotate freely by hand. Now loop the drive belt around the outside of the drum. The ribbed side of the belt faces the drum surface. Route the belt down through the cabinet bottom and thread it in a zigzag pattern. Under the idler pulley wheel, then around the motor shaft. Push the idler arm toward the motor to create slack. Loop the belt over the pulley, then release the arm to apply tension. Give the drum a few manual rotations to confirm the belt is seated correctly and tracking straight. Reinstall the front bulkhead. Lift the bulkhead and position it against the front of the drum. The inner lip of the bulkhead must seat around the front drum edge. Align it carefully before pressing it in. Once aligned, press the bulkhead firmly into place. Reconnect the moisture sensor wire harness. Push until you hear a click, then give it a tug to confirm it is locked. Now replace all of the perimeter screws and the blower housing screw. Snug each screw down. Do not over-tighten plastic mount points.
Step 19. Confirm the moisture sensor connection. Before moving to the front panel, double-check the moisture sensor wire harness at the lower bulkhead. The connector should be fully seated with the locking tab engaged. Give it a firm tug. If it pulls free, reseat it and press until you hear the click. Route the wire neatly so it will not get pinched when the front panel is reinstalled.
Step 20. Reinstall the front panel. Before the panel goes back on, reconnect the door switch wire harness on the backside of the front panel. Press the connector until it clicks. Now position the front panel in front of the cabinet opening, aligning the top edge with the cabinet frame. Press the bottom of the panel inward until both spring clips engage. You will hear 2 clicks, one on each side. Then reinstall the 2 top screws and the inner door bracket screw. Open the dryer door to confirm the door switch bracket is seated correctly in the door opening.
Step 21. Reinstall the control panel. Reconnect the control panel wire harness first. Press the connector body until it clicks and give it a tug to confirm. Now lower the control panel back into position, aligning the rear mounting tabs with the frame. Move to the back of the dryer and reinstall the 2 Phillips screws that secure the control panel at the rear. Do not over-tighten. Snug is enough on the console mounting screws.
Step 22. Reinstall the top panel. Standing behind the dryer, hold the top panel with the front edge angled slightly upward. Lower the rear of the panel first, sliding it into the rear clips. Then lower the front edge down. You should feel it seat into the front clips with a slight click. Now reinstall the 2 Phillips screws at the rear top edge. Tighten both screws firmly. Reconnect the exhaust vent duct if you removed it. Push the dryer back toward the wall, leaving a few inches of clearance for the vent hose.
Step 23. Test and verify. Remove your lockout tag and plug the power cord back into the wall outlet from the side. Never stand directly in front of the dryer when restoring power. Start a timed dry cycle and listen carefully. The drum should rotate smoothly and quietly, with no squealing, squeaking, or grinding. Open and close the dryer door mid-cycle to confirm the door switch is working correctly. Let the full cycle run and verify normal operation. If all is quiet and the drum rotates without issue, the repair is complete. For reference materials, consult the Samsung DVE45R6100C Use and Care Guide and Tech Sheet available on Samsung's official product support site. OSHA 29 CFR 1910.147 for lockout-tagout procedures, and NFPA 70E for electrical safety in the workplace. Great work! You have successfully completed an idler pulley replacement on the Samsung DVE45R6100C.